IVM.
Hey, it's been another great week on IVM. If you aren't following us on social media, please do. We're IVM Podcast on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. On Cyrus Says this week, we have Satyanshu Singh, filmmaker, writer, and head of content development for AIB First Draft. His journey from doctor to writer is a fascinating one. On The Scene and the Unseen, Amit is joined by Pranay Kotastane and Hamsini to decode Pakistan's experiences with democracy. On Keeping It Queer this week, Naveen speaks to Parmesh Sahani, author and head of the Godrej India Culture Lab. Hustle Science marks the season finale with fitness YouTuber Abhinav Mahajan. And on Geek Fruit, Tejas and Jishnu give you the greatest hits from this year's San Diego Comic-Con. It's time for you to catch the third story from Croc Tales with Anand Sivakumaran. This one is called Freddy Ki Fiat Ho Gayi Flat. And now, onto your shows.
Hi,
You're
listening to IVM
Daily. Hey guys, welcome to another episode of IVM Daily. And today in the studio, I have this guy. This guy
yeah,
again.
That guy. Yeah,
that
that guy. My name is Abbas. Surbhi? Surbhi, is it? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, that's Abbas for you guys. And we'll be joined by a friend of mine later in the show. And today, by the way, we're discussing how difficult it is to find a house in Bombay.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, that's it. We're just a bunch of people ranting about our struggles. So I guess enjoy. Okay, Abbas, I would like to start with you. You've been, so how long have you been living in Bombay for?
I've been living here since 2011, so 7 years now.
7 years?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. So how many houses have you shifted?
I'm in my second house, so
Nice.
I'm not someone who came to Bombay from far away. I mean, my actual house is not very far from Bombay.
Where is it?
It's this place called Bhiwandi, which is about 50 kilometers from Bombay.
Oh.
And my mother's family does live in Bombay. They are from Bombay. So I didn't have the traditional struggle of landing up in a city without knowing anyone and really going house hunting. I had the privilege of having my cousins and people I knew also look for houses with me. But even with that, finding houses in your budget range in the central part of Bombay, in the parts of Bombay that you work in, or the parts of Bombay
basically
that are
not in Dheri East. Okay.
yeah, I mean, or any East, Bandra East, Andheri East, Mira Road. No offense to people who live there, because I know you moved there because you couldn't find places in the central city.
Yeah, listeners at Mira Road, we love you.
Yeah,
Please.
but I remember there was this. You remember the film Life in a Metro?
Yeah.
That had a line which some character says के मुंबई में अगर आप ढूंढने जाओगे तो भगवान मिल जाएगा लेकिन घर नहीं मिलेगा, you know, and that's like personifies the struggle that people go through to live in Mumbai.
Oh man, so are you like, with all the struggle, do you regret ever moving out of your own house since now?
I mean, I had no choice because I moved out because I had to study. So I lived in Bangalore for 6 years. And then I moved back, and then traveling from Bhiwandi to Bombay every day, that's almost like a 2.5 hour journey one way. So I can't spend 5 hours traveling. So I had to live somewhere in the city. So yeah, I don't regret it, but I wish that I had more square feet of space to move my body around. I mean, I don't know how many of people listening to this podcast or you have seen my stand-up bit, but I actually do a bit about how and I had this habit of moving around on stage while doing my jokes.
Yeah.
And then someone pointed it out and I incorporated it in my setup about I'm moving around so much on stage because this is the most amount of space I've had in Bombay to move around because my house is really small. So yeah, I don't regret it, but yeah, finding a house in Bombay is really tough.
I know, man. So I remember when I first moved here, I've been here for almost close to 3 years now, and the first house that I lived in was a PG.
Right.
And so when you get into a PG, it looks like a great deal because they tell you 3 times ka khana milega, so breakfast, lunch, and also dinner, and like good food, like nice cook and everything. So I used to live in a PG in Shere Punjab.
Okay.
So nice Punjabi family. So I was like sure that there'll be nice, good Punjabi food. But dude, 1 month into it, everybody just got they were like, I don't know, they were upset because you used to come, because again, I was used to work in advertising and I would reach home by 9, which is not late, but they would get upset कि 9 baje aa rahi hai ladki.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then things got a little out of hand. They just like politely asked us to move out. Ki, okay, we tried this thing, but it's not working out. And you know how much I used to pay?
How
I
much?
paid 18K for a shared room, or that's also like a converted room. room. Like the kids used to sleep in that room, and we had kiddie beds. By the way, like we would struggle to like our legs wouldn't like fit in that bed. It was such a tiny bed. Like we were just paying a bomb, and it was a hell. Like it was just a hell.
Yeah, that's the other thing. So I mean, finding a house itself is such a big task.
Yeah.
Then on top of that, and I've gone house hunting in Bangalore as well.
Yeah.
I have to say, Bombay comes with its own characters of people who are landlords, because they will have some really obnoxious and weird terms and conditions.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, if you belong to a certain community, if you eat non-vegetarian food, if you drink, if you're a certain height, I mean, if you're bachelors, I mean, bachelors have a really hard time.
That's true.
Unmarried people have a really hard time finding places to live in Mumbai. So yeah, it's very difficult. As compared to that, I found Bangalore to be way more chill, and I used to pay 8,000 rupees for a 3 BHK that I used to live in Bangalore. So yeah, I think Bombay comes with its own, added headaches of people who give the houses up for rent.
I know. So like again, it's a gamble. Either it's a great house and a shitty landlord, or a shitty landlord and a shitty house.
Yeah. In fact, I remember the author Arvind Adiga, who won the Man Booker Prize for a novel he wrote. And he didn't get a house because he was a bachelor after wanting to move to Bombay. I mean, this is the man who won the biggest literary prize, but even he couldn't get a house in Bombay.
Just think of all the bachelors who are doing great shit, but they don't get a house.
Exactly.
Just give us houses. Oh my God. But again, so I had a landlord who, like, the house they were living in was decent, but the landlord had some weird rules. Like, every time someone comes in, inform me, which is so weird.
Right.
Every time, I mean, so, okay, my doodhwala is here. I guess I should inform you. But it was just these tiny things that would like be like super controlling. Ki, hey, we're paying rent and we have paid you a bunch of deposit. Can you just freaking mind your own business?
Yeah.
But you can't seem to expect these things in Bombay. Apparently, you just like asking for too much. Then. Also, I have a friend who's going through this whole process of house hunting right now.
Okay.
So she's infuriated and she's in. So we're going to get all that rage on a call with her right after the break. See you.
Why don't we talk about mental illness? For that matter, we don't even talk about emotional wellness. And if we can't talk about either of these basic, very basic aspects of being human, what do we do when we just feel like something's not right?
Hi, I'm Zain.
And I'm Avanti.
And this is Marbles Lost and Found, a show where we invite conversations about mental health and illness and just get people to talk about it, because it's okay to do so. Catch Marbles Lost and Found every Tuesday on the IVM app, website, or anywhere you get your podcasts from.
Hey guys, welcome back. And on the line with us, we have Anusha, my friend, who's full of rage, and she's also in traffic right now. So sorry for the disturbance, but that's Bombay for you. Hey Anusha, what's up? Since you're looking for a house right now, what would be the one piece of advice that you would like to give to someone who's also looking for a house in Bombay?
Yeah, I've been trying to avoid brokers as much as possible because they really suck.
Yeah.
One broker I spoke to, he said that in Juhu, we take a brokerage of 2 months.
Oh no, why?
And I said, what? Why? So he said, well, if your budget is low, then we don't make much out of it.
What the hell is that? Brokerage is super illegal, by the way. I don't know if the brokerage is illegal also.
Is it?
I have no idea, but it sounds super shady. Like, because they ask,
So there are licensed brokers and unlicensed brokers, and yeah.
What is this? Sounds super non-made up shit. But what do you say?
So he basically said that there are a lot of brokers involved in one deal, and if your budget is not high, then we make nothing out of it because we have to pay so many people. So I said, well, that's not my problem.
Yeah,
that's your job, and you have to deal with it.
So
anyway,
this is just Juhu. But like, have you found any good houses around Andheri, like your areas of concern, like your areas?
Yeah, so my area is Andheri because it seems to be the most affordable area, which is also a nice place to live in.
Yeah.
And well connected, but it's slightly difficult at this point, mainly because I'm on a budget, but otherwise, if you have the money, then Bombay is the place for you.
Yeah, another shady thing that we went through while we were looking for a house together was that one person posted on Facebook that, hey, we have a house, it's a 2 BHK, and only one girl said, I only live here. And then when I got in touch with her, she said, oh, also my friend and my boyfriend also stay with me. I was like, that's 3 people.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Remember? Yeah, I told you about this. And I was like, okay, then I did not get back to her because that's kind of weird. Yeah, so landlords also have a problem with, like, if you lend what's the term for it, like co-rent your houses, basically.
Right. If you have a roommate,
without the landlord's knowledge. So yeah, they always this thing, if your friend stays for like 2 hours more, is she living with you now?
Yeah, so I was about to close a deal with this house just yesterday.
Yeah.
And then we didn't because the landlord said, every time you have someone visiting, you have to let me know. So I said, are you my father? Like, what's the deal?
Yeah, man, that's super
I don't think
weird.
even fathers give that much of a damn
I know.
about their children as landlords do.
Exactly.
God, landlords are better father figures than our fathers themselves. Oh God,
I don't
this
need
is...
more daddy issues.
Yeah, that's great. And also, guys, Anusha, my friend, is looking for a house in Andheri. So if you have any leads, I guess you could send them over and tweet to us. Anusha, where are you staying?
At Veera Desai.
Oh, Veera Desai. So are you looking for a house around that area?
Yes, I am.
Okay, everybody who's listening to this right now, Anusha is looking for a house. If you have any leads, please send them over. Tweet to us at ivmpodcast.com. And thank you so much, Anusha, for getting on a call with us. Good luck with house hunting.
Thank you. Yes, thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye.
That was Anusha, my friend. And moving to Abbas, who looks even more like it's just
Mad. Yeah, I think because, see, we all talk about how... What's that noise? I heard some noise. Okay, sorry. We hear about the fact that, Mumbai is amazing and it's the city of dreams and all of that. And sure it is, but let me tell you, the infrastructure in Bombay is not very great. I mean, we see buildings coming up everywhere.
I know.
And when you go with the brokers to see houses, right, they have a particular way of showing you the houses. They'll show you the most amazing, great house which you can never own in your dreams first.
Yeah.
So that they're like, okay, this is what you're going to start with. This is going to be the one that you can't even dream of having.
Yeah.
And then they'll show you the, in the reverse order, the less better one and the shittier one. And it's like the smallest things, like this building has a lift, so you have to pay 10,000 extra.
I know.
This is on the first floor, so you have to pay 6,000 extra. Or this has a view, and what will be the view? You open the window, there's another building in front of it, right?
Yeah.
And for some reason you have to pay insane amounts of money to live in that house. So I don't understand. I mean, again, as someone, I keep going back to this, but someone who lived in Bangalore, like I said, I lived in a 3 BHK for 8,000, which had 2 galleries, 2 washrooms. It was on the 3rd floor. You looked out of the gallery, there were like trees and sunsets and roads and all of those things. But it's just the house I'm living in right now in Mumbai is still better than the one I was living in before, because the one I was living in before, you opened the window and you could just hear the garbage, hear and smell the garbage dump and rats running around and all of that. And I had to have preventive measures so that the rats don't get in the house.
That's true.
And all of that. So yeah, I mean, living conditions not very hygienic or up to the point in Bombay, and yet we pay thrice the amount of money as we would living in any other city. So yeah, a lot of
That's
shortcomings.
True. And you know what? Also, if you live if you're a bachelor, if you're a bunch of bachelors living in the society, everything that goes wrong, it's on you. Yeah. So if the tank isn't working or something somewhere is overflowing, then it's probably the bachelor's house.
Of course.
And so this one time we got accused of so they found a syringe in our lift, and a used syringe, and they found it in our lift, and immediately they came to us oh, of course you're taking heroin. I was like, can we please get it checked? This was some insulin that an old lady was taking on our floor, but of course it's the bachelors at it again. They're taking drugs again. So Again, so if you're a bachelor, you just have to expect some bachelor behavior, I guess.
That's true. And again, modes of transport are also a point of consideration. Like if you live in the suburbs and you work in town, you have to make sure you live in a place where you get an auto, you have a railway station close to you.
Yeah.
While coming back, you get back in one piece and all of those things.
I know.
So it's all
like a lot of I remember when I looked for a house on my own after the PG thing, I just had to make sure that I have a house where I can go back in the night after sunset and I can reach home safely. Because there are still areas like the RA colony area and like this area which
according to you is
they're haunted. They're totally haunted. And they also have like weird animals lurking around. So again, like that's one concern that I don't want to be attacked by a cheetah on my way back home. But yeah, I guess there are a lot of concerns, but Abbas and I are done ranting for today. And this was it for the IVM Daily. You can get in touch with IVM on our social media at IVM Podcast, and you can reach out to us personally at Abbas.
You can find me on Twitter at Abbas Momin, and you can find me on Instagram at Abbas Momin 88.
You can find me on Twitter at @SmallTalkPolice and on Instagram at @Surbhi.Bagga. That's it. See you next time on IVM Daily.
Bye.
Bye.
Shunyavan, 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 Shunyavan.
$1 billion acquisition. Another copycat startup got formed.
No, the tech world in India is surely moving double the speed of this voiceover.
Tune in to Shunya One every Tuesday to catch us talking to the smartest people we know on the IVM Podcast website, app, or wherever you get your podcasts from.
Hi, I'm Vishal Gondal, an entrepreneur. I've had the chance to meet and understand how some of the super achievers have hacked their way to success, and they have done spectacular innovations. Now I take a closer look at these people's lives to find out what lies beneath the force. Only on the Vishal Gondal Show. Episodes out fortnightly on Wednesdays on the IVM website, app, or your favorite podcasting platform.